So the natural thing to do during Believathon to kind of have a bit of a break from it all is to read some sci-fi alien monster porn. So this is kind of a bit of a last minute thing, and I am on some Patreon reading sprints with Liv from Olivia Reads a Laddie and Mel from Mel Reads, and I just tuned into one of their previous book club live shows, and they mentioned reading Planet Barbarians, and it's just like, do you guys remember the Den of Vipers vlog? Or when we read Den of Vipers? And that one was on the internet. That one we did publicly. I mean, for shame. But this time we're just doing it kind of low-key with our patrons and things. This is Planet Barbarians. I said I would join in. You know, I love butting into other people's things. So the description of Planet Barbarians, I feel like you guys might already know about this one. And guys, I'm not reading this to hate on it. I genuinely want to enjoy it. I really didn't like Den of Vipers, but I think I would have done if it had just been written well. So I'm hoping this one is at least well written. So this one, the description of it says, you'd think being abducted by aliens would be the worst thing that could happen to me, and you'd be wrong, because now the aliens are having ship trouble, and they've left their cargo of human women, including me, on an ice planet. And the only native inhabitant I've met, he's big, horned, blue, and really, really has a thing for me. Oh. Yeah, I mean, you do you. You do you. So I actually have the audiobook for this. I do have it on Kindle Unlimited, but I can't find my Kindle charger anywhere. So yes, listen to the audiobook of it. I've just started it because we're doing the sprints now. I've just finished work, so I didn't really get a chance to film this beforehand. I'm genuinely hoping that reading this, I will really enjoy it. This is just going to be a fun little reading vlog of this book. I'm only 8 minutes in, so I can't give you any thoughts. Also, I'm having some Prosecco, but I've got some Chambord in it because I did have Prosecco earlier in the week. I had like 82 shots. It made me feel a little bit sick, but I put some Chambord in it just to make it taste a little bit different. And you know what? It's going down a treat. It is going down a treat. Okay, update. I am now halfway through chapter 2. I'm actually really enjoying this. Not gonna lie, I'm really enjoying this. Like already, it's 10 times better than Den of Vipers. 10 times better, easily. I'm surprised. I'm as surprised as you are. Skyward has nothing on Planet Barbarians, is all I'm saying. So one of the things I'm really enjoying about this... Oh, hang on. So one thing I'm really enjoying about this one in particular is that I'm kind of really liking the main character. I'm just comparing this to Den of Vipers all the time because Den of Vipers is like the nearest thing possible to it. Georgie, compared to Roxy, I love Georgie so much more. Georgie is actually very funny. Like, this book has made me laugh quite a few times so far. I'll start from the beginning. So is this going to be a spoiler-filled reading vlog? I don't know. I'm just going to go into it. Okay, so Georgie was on like the spaceship with some other girls, and trigger warnings for a lot of things, by the way. Like, it doesn't start off very like nicely or anything. It starts off very heavy actually, and I was very reluctant to begin with because the first chapter, I mean, it's fucking 1 hour and 50 minutes long for one, but two, there's just like some things that happen that's very triggering, so bear that in mind going into this book if you fancy giving it a read. Once that's all out of the way, the girls who are being like taken by these aliens, these like green aliens, are on this ship, and Georgie, she's the main character, she's on this ship, and they kind of fight back. And what I love about Georgie is that she really takes action. She really wants to kind of fight back and things, so she kind of leads them and leads these girls into doing that, and then they end up crash landing on this like planet, and Georgie, she's pretty much made the leader of these girls, but she goes off on her own. She ends up getting, this is where it gets really weird, but like she gets like caught in a hunting trap thing, and she's like upside down and everything, whatever. And then here's his name, Vectel. Oh, which actually kind of sounds like rectal. I wonder if that's supposed to mean something. Anyway, she's captured, and yeah, Vectel comes, and instantly he starts licking her out. And you know what? It sounds so ridiculous, but like she loves it. She absolutely loves it. And you know what she's saying? It's like the best oral she's ever had. I just find it so bizarre that the first thing that happens between these characters is that she gets an orgasm from an alien. Like, I just never, ever would have thought I would read something where the main character will get an orgasm from an alien the first time they meet. Never would have crossed my mind. I never would have wrote it either. Like, I used to write some some fan fiction back in the day, okay? I used to write it. This never would have crossed my mind, not in a million years. I also love it because we kind of have a split narrative, so we get her narrative and we get his narrative, and I really like their kind of dynamic, and I really like how he is, like, there's like this language barrier between them, which it makes sense because he's an alien, so of course there's going to be a language barrier, but also, am I talking too deep about this book? But anyway, I like that kind of thing. It makes it feel a lot more realistic. Like, not gonna lie, like, there's a little bit of world building that it's kind of good. It's kind of good. Like, I don't hate it, and I'm so surprised. So, like, he thinks that she is his mate, and that's what he does. He is, well, what she calls him as a pussy-loving alien. Why not? In Fecal, he's apparently 7 foot tall. I thought I had a thing for 6 foot tall people, but I actually kind of have a little thing for Fecal. He's 7 foot. So, like, I'm just hurrying this along because I really want to read some more, which is very strange. But I'm still on these sprints. We've got 40 minutes left of the sprint, so I really do want to get back to it. But yeah, I just wanted to give you an update kind of halfway through the second chapter and say that I'm actually really enjoying it. Should I tell you some of my favourite quotes so far? He says, her flesh is almost completely hairless, save for the long braided locks on her crown and a small tuft between her thighs that's revealed as I pull her leathers from her. I snort with amusement at that small tuft. Adorable, and nonsensical. I love it. He's calling her tuft adorable. Her pubes. He's essentially calling her pubes adorable and nonsensical. Honestly, I love this part as well. I see the shaggy white furs covering her shoulders, and I realize I saw them from hanging upside down. It wasn't a monster come to eat me. It was this monster who's come to eat me out. Like, honestly, her humor, it's like genuinely not taking itself too seriously. I love it. But also, last one is from Georgie. She says, I'm warm and snuggled in furs, and for the first time in what feels like forever, I don't feel like I'm in imminent danger. All this alien wants is oral sex. The thought makes me giggle inwardly, and I'm smiling as I fall asleep. I mean, girl, same. If I was in the same situation, oh my god. It's not the worst place in the world to be. I mean, if I had my choice between the old cargo bay, alone in the snow, or snuggled next to the pussy-loving alien, I'm going to go with the option number 3. I found face-eating fish that have stalks that look like bamboo. I found a warm stream full of the aforementioned face-eating fish. And I found an alien that likes to eat pussy as a greeting. I'm getting back to this, sorry. Like, I'm wasting time here. Shut your mouth. Let's start reading again. Oh my lord. The crazy thing about this vlog is that it's kind of devolved from Planet Barbarians to The Perfect Poo, a fiery fecal romance by MJ Edwards. Experience satisfaction like no other. Oh my god. Like, I want to tell you about Planet Barbarians because I actually kind of enjoyed it. I actually kind of liked it. And then in the sprints with Liv and Mel, we finished it, and I had to put it on 3.5 times speed to catch up to them too. We finished it off. I thought it was pretty decent. It was like 3.5 stars for me. It wasn't too bad. It said what it wanted to do on the tin, so I enjoyed it. But I will let you know more in-depth thoughts on, the rest of the book in a bit. But just out of the blue, The Perfect Poo was on Kindle Unlimited, and yeah, one thing led to another, and me and Mel ended up FaceTiming each other.
Gav and I are on FaceTime. Hello.
Hi. Look at you with your fancy camera and me with my phone.
To read an MJ Edwards. The Perfect Poo, a fiery fecal romance.
Why does it have to be fiery for? What's she eating? What's she been eating?
She ate some flaming hot Cheetos before she went to the bathroom.
She'd made this just her alone. And she just couldn't forget how it made her feel. How it still made her feel. She leaned into the Moses basket and gave her poo a kiss.
Oh my god, so now I'm the poo?
Yes.
I love you.
I love how I portrayed the poo as Butch. You portrayed the poo.
That's a baby. I mean, isn't it a baby? It's got a basket.
If she fucks the poo now, I swear to God, that's wrong.
Okay, but facts though.
I love you too, poo. It was something she'd never allowed to pass her lips before. Sure, she'd thought about saying it a few times, like to her grandma before she got run over by a car.
What?
Why is this so random? By a golf cart, or the receptionist at work who she once let finger her.
I swear this woman's messed up.
This woman, she just thought, let's just write whatever comes to mind.
Maybe she ran over the grandma. That's the person she was talking about in the beginning.
But this was different. This wasn't lust or family pressure. This was pure love.
Oh my god.
Mel read pretty much most of the book out loud, and oh my god, this is the funniest book I have ever read in all of my life. I have not laughed as much as anything ever. So many reasons. So essentially this book, The Perfect Poo, follows Stella. She ends up, well, I mean, she can't have a poo to begin with. She's like constipated. Like, she hasn't had a poo in 2 weeks and she can't get it out. And then she finally gets it out and she falls in love with her poo. So I'm going to read some parts out that I really enjoyed, like some of my favorite parts of this book. So if you do not want to hear any of it, to be fair, it isn't detailed or anything like that. It's just bizarre. It's just hilarious. So like, there's not really like disgusting imagery. There's not anything like that. Don't worry about that. I mean, if you think about it in your head, it is rather disgusting, but yeah, just bear that in mind. If you don't want to hear that, then maybe skip ahead to the Planet Barbarians review wrap up or whatever that's going to come. But oh my god, this book is just incredible. So we're going to start from the beginning. Literally, it says in the dedication, for the one that got away. Good. I already love it. And like the first line. Stella Stipsy clung to the toilet seat like she was a mountain climber, and the seat was the beyond a vertical ascent to the peak of K2. Her face was red, like it had been the time she thought she'd run over a dog with her car. It was fine. It was just a child. And her knuckles were white. The fact that she run over a child, but she was like, oh, it's okay, it wasn't a dog. That just starts off this story so well. I've spilled, but I took photos. Like, the writing in this is so specific. Like, there's odd specific things and, like, just so many unnecessary details. Like, and I know I usually kind of give authors crap for not, you know, doing the details and stuff. This is just too much. So, you know, Stella's on the phone to Rachel, who's her best friend, and I did the voice of Rachel in mine and Mel's dramatic reading. Stella then wiped her vagina, because even though she hadn't been able to poo, she had done 2 little wheeze during that time she'd been sitting on the toilet. She then put the wee-soaked toilet tissue in the toilet and stood up and flushed the toilet and pulled up her trousers. Bye, she said, then hung up the phone. The fact that she did this while she was on the phone to Rachel, her best friend, like, put the phone down first, then wipe. But also the fact that we get to hear about the fact she had 2 little ways and the time she was like trying to have a poo is perfect. The funniest thing though is when she and Rachel go to a restaurant and she is like describing Rachel, she's describing herself. Stella says that Rachel had long brown hair and blue eyes and red lips because of her red lipstick. And then it says she looked a little bit like Stella, except Stella had blonde hair and purple eyes and didn't like lipstick. But they were both wearing nice tops that showed off their boobs because both of them had nice boobs. And when they stood next to each other, it looked like this. Ooh. The way it's just phrased, like, when they stood next to each other, it looked like this, and then it showed you what it looked like. I can't with this book. I literally can't. Okay, this is all this review is going to be my favourite quotes. Stella didn't like fish because they reminded her of poos in water, which she was unable to produce at that particular moment. Also, this had so many great similes, like fantastic similes throughout. Rachel has a friend called Rogbert. That was also something that came up? Oh my god. Came up. What the fuck? I've been reading too much fucking romance today. Quite honestly though, I'm converted and I want to read more. Stella's had her shit, right? Stella's had her shit. Suddenly, Stella plunged her hand into the toilet, grasped her freshly laid poo in her hand, and pulled it from the water. It didn't feel like she'd expected at all. It wasn't soft or sticky or knobbly or hot. It was smooth, gentle, warm. Stella didn't know what came over her. It was like her brain was telling her one thing, but her heart was telling her another. This thing she held in her hands was hers. She cradled it, whispered to it, calmed it. "It's going to be okay, little one," she said. It was strange, so strange, but it was almost as if it spoke back to her. I know, my love, it said. Oh. There's no speech marks around it, so I don't think the poo actually talks to her. She just thinks it does. Was it her poo that was giving her these emotions she'd never experienced before? The closest she felt to love was the time she made love to the butcher, and he let her keep 2 pork chops as a thank you. Holy crap, thought Stella. Did she just use the L word? Love? She did. Oh my god. She literally falls in love with the shit she has just had. Oh, I never ever thought, you know what, when I was a little boy and I said, you know what, Gav, on the cusp of turning 30, where do you think you'll be in life? I never would have said reading poo porn, essentially. Oh my god. But then she starts treating her like a baby. And so I was like, oh, maybe it's just like a baby thing. Maybe she just thinks it's her baby. Stella had been on an internet shopping spree, buying everything she could to ensure her poo was comfortable. A perimumulator. Me and Mel did not know what the fuck that was, so we googled it. This is what it is. Oh shit, it's okay. She bought the poo clothes. A beautiful Moses basket with little corn on the cobs along the side. Blankets. A mug. Wine. A DVD for them to watch together. She loves this poo. She loves it so much. And honestly, with the Planet Barbarians, the main guy in that poos, and the fact that this poo, purr, it said, purr. This fucking piece of shit's resonating with her. Honestly, I'd never laughed so much. Me and Mel were just on the floor. We could not breathe. But also, I'm not gonna lie, this little short story is actually quite inspirational in a way as well. Because who am I to judge? Because I've never been in love. So, how can I judge Stella for being in love with her poo? Like, how can I possibly judge her for that? And, you know, it's quite romantic, really. She says Stella knew deep down in her heart that she wanted to shout out about that love from the rooftops. Stella couldn't figure out how to get on that roof, so instead she popped her poo in its brand new pushchair and took it out for a walk. Oh, fucking hell. Ow. Okay, she takes it out for a walk. She goes to the cinema with it, but everyone's, like, disgusted by it. She goes to Tesla and get, you know, for the cars and stuff, which I didn't know either. Mel had to tell me. But then she bumps into Rachel, her best friend, and Rachel sees it. And Stella thinks that Rachel's going to be also disgusted, but Rachel says, Stella, I love you, so I can't tell you what is and isn't right. That's for you to decide yourself. If you love your poo, then that's your choice. Stella stared at her. You see, that's just it, she said. It isn't a choice. We don't choose who we love. So that is actually rather... It's such an important message, quite honestly. I can't criticize her for that. I can't pull the star rating down for that. I mean, then we get into a little bit... Because I thought maybe, yeah, she's just treating this poo like a baby. But no. A little bit later on, they sang and danced and told jokes until the sun went down. Then they made love. She literally has sex with her poo. But it doesn't describe it, thank fuck. It does not describe. But she does say it was soft and sweet and echoed through the moonlight like a shooting star crescent at a peacock's tail. At the end of it, they held each other tight and whispered, I love you to one another, until they drifted into their dreams. Oh, my heart woman. You know, she plans a future. You know, I mean, she orders McDonald's breakfast for them in the next morning, but she plans a future with them. You know, they shower together, they make love again, but tragedy strikes. Tragedy strikes. This poo, it doesn't last forever. This love, it can't last forever. She wakes up with one day and the poo had turned white. Crusty. Stella screamed a pain-riddled scream. A scream she had never screamed before. A scream so filled with pain, she wondered if her scream would ever stop screaming. And it did. But only for a moment, so she could draw in breath and start screaming again. I love this writing, quite honestly. I love it. It was no longer the poo she knew, the poo she loved. Stella shed a plethora of tears. Never before had so much perspiration been expelled from her ducts. Honestly, Sally Rooney could never. Now, 5 hours before, she had been planning her future. A bright one. Kids, a home, fancy holidays, maybe a river cruise or the Lake District. Grandkids. Then they were old and content. That's when they would die. Together in each other's arms. Not here. Not so soon. Honestly, my heart It's breaking. I just saw. So then she gives it a Viking death. She puts it in the toilet and she flushes the chain. And honestly, you should have been there for when Mel gave the sound effect and it was like... It was the sound effect of the toilet. And then at the end, obviously, like, this is all spoiler filled, I'm sorry. But at the end, after flushing the poo away, she starts to feel like she needs another poo. Stella smiled. Maybe, just maybe, she'd feel love again. Oh my god. I love it. Honestly, it's 5 stars. I'm not joking. It was the funniest book I've ever read in my life. I'll never stop thinking about it. You know, it's one of those books that really sticks with you. You know what? I thought Fecal in Planet Barbarians was my new book boyfriend. But I don't think anything has a patch on Stella's shit. Honestly. I might actually look that up. There might be some fan art online. Anyway, should we get back to Planet Barbarians? I finished it. I finished it in the sprint. You know what? It was actually pretty good. I actually thought it was pretty good. The plot, it kept me really invested and interested. I cannot remember what the hell I've told you so far, quite honestly. I would have loved this more if there was more sex, and more weird sex as well. I really wanted more weird sex. The sex wasn't even really that weird, to be honest. I was expecting some more. I don't think if maybe Den of Vipers tamed me, but I just didn't think it actually went all that hard or all that much out. But I just don't understand why she had so many juices. Like, is she a fucking juice bar? She was constantly juicing. There were moments that were kind of cute, like she was teaching him to kiss and things like that, and I thought that was kind of cute. That was nice. I liked I just liked it whenever the word cock came up, to be honest. I just want to know more about his cock. Why? Did we not get more in-depth looks at his cock? I just don't get it. If you want to talk about the nitty-gritty of this book, the world building actually was pretty decent. So Vectal's species, like his alien species, have also been stranded on this planet, and there was only, what did he say, like 5 women as part of their species. So like they're kind of like dying out. We have Georgie's team and the people who she was with. They kind of get rescued with them and they start mating. That's all I've got in me, to be honest, to describe the plot. It was just very interesting. It was actually quite exciting because there's also the story where Georgie, I think she only has like 8 days on this planet before she dies. But if she has this like tapeworm thingy-mabobby that helps turn it into their species, then she will be able to live. And honestly, that kind of, speaking that out loud, makes me think of Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Meyer. How Bella turns into a vampire. So sorry if you don't want Twilight spoilers. That shit's old. Surely you know by now. And also, Georgie is the main character. She was funny. She was driven. She was in control. She was a leader. She was good. She's so much better than Roxy from Den of Vipers. I hated Roxy so much, fucking hell. But Georgie, I really enjoyed. I want to buy myself an alien dildo right now, quite honestly. I'm gonna see if there's any good ones. Is there any fan art of Vectal? He looks like a demon, but he's kind of cute. Oh, look at that. That's so cute. Right, now I want naked fan art. Can I say his cock, please? Maybe I'm putting myself off. Yeah, I'm putting myself off, not gonna lie. I don't think I'm gonna get an alien dildo anymore. The one I've got will do the job, it's fine. I'll just colour it in. I'll just colour it in blue. Anything else about Planet Barbarians? Sorry. Like, there is like a little bit of weird stuff, especially in terms of like, because at the end I think she gets like anal from him at the same time because of his like dick thing. It wasn't weird enough for me. Well, I think the one thing that let me down with this is that I know there's the whole mating thing and the reverence or whatever it's called. It's probably not that. Honestly, I've probably gotten it so wrong. It began with an R, I'm sure. Resonance is the one. Alright, yeah, I know like the whole mating thing and the resonance thing, but they fell in love far too quickly. Like, she actually says I love you and she gets pregnant. Like, but she says I love you, and what, it's been a couple of days. I believe more that there is a planet out there with, you know, aliens with massive cocks, more than saying I love you after 2 days. Like, give me a fucking break. So that's probably why it doesn't get, like, it could have been a 4-star, but I knocked it down to like a 3.5 because of that. I wanted more sex, I wanted more weirdness, but I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed the poo story as well. What have I turned into? I do not know, but I'm kind of liking it. I like this new me. 2022 is going to be very interesting year, what I read, I think. So on that note, subscribe if you haven't already, because who knows what the hell I'm going to film next. And what the hell I'm going to read next, because I kind of am interested in continuing the Planet Barbarian series. Honestly, so interested. How many is there? Like 16 of them or something? There's a lot, isn't there? There's quite a few Planet Barbarians books. Yeah, I'll go back to that. I genuinely would. Anyway, I want to end it there. And I'm going to have a wet dream tonight, I just know it. You know, I've had two very different romances in just the span of a few hours. And also, I'm starving. I've been drinking Prosecco and I'm starving. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment. Have you read The Perfect Poo? Let me know what you thought of it. Have you read Planet Barbarians? Did you like it? And yeah, hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye.